Well, there is, of course, gloom in global affairs, and some of it is justified. We have elites in many countries trying to walk away from the multilateral system that has held things together since 1945. And I think to save it, we're going to have to reform it. Beyond that, however, what have we got? We've got the most educated generation we've ever had. We've got 30 years of rapid development in the global south. We've got, a technology story that if you stand as far back as you can, you're talking about it takes 300,000 years to go from stone tools to steam engines and 200 years to go from steam engines to silicon chips 9 atoms thick. We should be optimistic about the technological future. And I think that if we're able to overcome it's a human as well as a political reaction to the scale and pace of the change. Many traditional communities are being shattered and atomized, not just by the pace of change, but by the growing inequality. If we can overcome that, I think given the human material and the high levels of education, we are on a path that will look quite like what the technocratic dream was 20 or 30 years ago when the internet started, of what Peter Drucker, the management theorist, called the universally educated person becoming a manager of knowledge. That's the society that I've envisaged both in the book Post-Capitalism and the new one, Clear Bright Future. The problem is, I don't think there's a big enough recognition of the hump we have to get over. It won't be got over in kind of airport book style that things just get better. There'll be confrontations. And the book I've written is meant to arm people for those confrontations. To defend what? To defend human rights, the universality of them, the concept and belief in democracy, and the idea that human beings can free themselves through technological change and self-improvement, a very unpopular idea, both on the academic left and the newly emergent right. Ordinary members of the public and voters feel very helpless in the face of the powerful forces that they're up against. People who could buy their lives several times over, to be honest. And the fact that it's so difficult to understand why things were going so well and now they've all fallen apart. I think the most basic injunction to people is find each other and act. Find people who think like you do, discuss what to do, and take small actions that get bigger. And this is something that I think in politics we've become not used to. We've become very used to seeing politics as something other people do. And if we're in political activity, and many of us are, I am, it can seem like a grind. I think the other thing is the right, and by this I mean the reactionary right, the people who want to tear apart the human rights framework of the last 70 years, has a utopia. I don't like that utopia. The left doesn't have a utopia. The centre had a utopia, and it was the world as it was on the brink of the Lehman Brothers collapse, but that utopia needs to be rebuilt. So I think the 21st century will play out as a battle of utopias, all of which will have to be focused around what we do about climate change, what we do about the technological possibilities inherent in automation and artificial intelligence. And the book I've written certainly tries to outline what my utopia would be. I want to move beyond small scale and incremental discussion because the other side have already moved way beyond it.